You got a really close, tight shot.
Yeah, you got the nice little setup.
As the host, I got to have the situation situated.
You're the HD over there.
The nice camera, the nice microphone. You know what I'm saying?
I look like a Nokia.
Hey, I ain't mad at you, bro. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tomb Slayer podcast, the place where we have resurrectional conversations, and indeed, I just made that word up. Today is especially delicious. I am excited like you guys would not believe for the guests that I'm always excited about the guests that I have the opportunity, the privilege, the honor to converse with. I didn't say conversate, I said converse. That's the actual right word. But anyway, I'm so excited about this particular guest because it's very, very near and dear to my heart. I'm so excited. 6th round draft pick to the Arizona Cardinals in 2012. That's right. 3-time Pro Bowl athlete of incredible specimen. I don't know what that means, but I just said it. Awesome father to a gorgeous baby girl. Dope husband. You've seen him with the Cardinals. You've seen him with the Atlanta Falcons. You've seen him with the other people that we shall not name because I didn't remember them just now. You've seen him with the Miami Dolphins. He is my actual cousin, kind of, but we'll get into that in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my man, Justin Bethel in the building. What is up, brother?
Not much, just chilling on I don't know, what day is this? Thursday?
It's a Thursday. Chilling on a Thursday, brother. Man, you know what? I forgot the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens. In fact,
Baltimore. I was there. It was a quick stint.
You played for them for like half a quarter.
Half a season. Yeah, no.
You was there for half a quarter. Like 2 games, 2.5 games. Actually, that's who you guys played when you came. Me and my son came to the show in Miami, and y'all whooped the daylights out of them jokers. Boy, that was a good game.
No, was it the one that was in there, right? And we came back.
That's right.
No, they were whooping us, and we just happened to
listen. I go by the end of the game, the way it ended. My God, y'all
got us this year though.
I still got my family pass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta keep the family pass because we don't quite know how we're actually related.
In the spirit.
But legit, for those people who, my wife asks me all the time, how are you actually related to Justin? I said, well, Justin's dad, Uncle Chris, is the brother of my aunt Marie, who married my Uncle Carlos. So that makes us cousins, I think.
Yeah, we cousins.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how this works.
Hey, that's how it is. It's all good. As long as we say we're cousins.
That's right. Man, I have to, first of all, before we get deep into this conversation and stuff, I have to say I appreciate you, brother. You are my first plug, bro. You're the first person. You remember these, dude?
Oh yeah, that was back when I had the
you had the
sauce back then.
You had the sauce, and you put a little sauce in a ramekin for your boy. Right? That was my first, my first pair of J's that were not fake.
Oh well, hey man,
you
gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, what they say, fake it till you make it, man.
Hey, well, I sure faked it. I faked it with 2 pairs until my foot came out the bottom. I was like, this ain't real. But man, listen. I am extremely proud of you, bro, and I want to jump into this conversation like this. I started off your introduction by saying you were the 6th round draft pick. What was it like going? Because I got a couple of friends in the league that went round number 1, round number 2, or whatever. What was it like waiting on your name to be called? Because I think it was like the 3rd day. Was it the 2nd or 3rd day?
Yeah, Saturday, 6th and 7th round. It might be 5th, 6th, and 7th round is the 3rd day. First round. First day, 2nd and 3rd, maybe 4. I don't remember. I just know it was a Saturday. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, for me, coming from a small school, I kind of already thought it was going to be. I didn't think I was going to be a high pick, so I was thinking probably going to be late round, maybe like a free agent. Like a priority free agent, something like that. Hopefully get into a camp kind of thing.
Prove yourself there.
Yeah. And like coming out of college for me, it was like, well, you've been doing this as long as you have, through middle school, high school, and, college. So you owe it to yourself to at least see where you can go, if you can get a chance somewhere. Lord gave me a chance. I got drafted to Arizona. It was crazy because when I got out there, I remember first getting there and it's like mountains in the background.
Yeah.
And then like there's cactus, like they're sprouting up. They're out there like trees. I was like, I called my mom and dad. I was like, man, they got cactus out here. Like there's like trees just sitting here in the middle of the. So,
You're in the desert, brother. You're in the desert.
It was totally different from South Carolina.
Yeah.
So no, it was, I was sitting there waiting, kind of knew it was going to be a later pick. You're always hoping like maybe somebody just seen something that you didn't know about and they kind of pick you up early. But I knew I was going to be a later pick, and I got the call. I was happy, and it was kind of like just kind of like, okay, I'm always kind of go with the flow kind of guy. So it's like, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So the next thing is to get out there and just try and make the team.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, people who are watching this, people listening to this podcast, we get super discouraged when our expectations aren't met. So it's great to hear you saying that. Well, it didn't seem like you had false expectations even going in.
No.
If you're coming from, and it's not like you went to to the U or Alabama, not like that or whatever. So it's like
I wasn't expecting to be first round or second or third.
Got it. So you weren't. I wouldn't expect to be first, second, third, fourth.
Just hoping,
maybe not even fifth. So,
no.
But how? I mean, were people around you? Did they have the same expectations? Because I know our family, bro. And it's like, we're extremely big on faith and God having a purpose and a plan and the favor of God and man, blah, 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 this, that, and third. So, I would imagine, because I remember where I was when my mom texted me that you got drafted. I was literally I'm in Orlando. I was on my way to this taco bar, actually. Yeah. And she sent me the text that you got drafted, man, 6th round. I was super excited, man. I ate an extra taco. And, I ate it for you, brother, because you couldn't have that anymore for a couple of weeks. But I know us. We're like, man, God gonna watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you.
He gonna get in the 3rd round. He gonna make supernatural picking selection.
That's us. That's us all day. And so how do you reconcile that level of faith, which kind of seems unrealistic, with actual measured expectations?
I mean, I think we definitely had some. There were some people. I think we had people on both ends. There's some family members who are like, don't get his hopes up too much because you don't want him to be super disappointed if it don't happen. And then there's the other side where it's like, hey, you just expect the best possibility. Yeah. And for me, I just kind of I'm always in the middle. It's like whatever's going to happen. And this has kind of been my thought through life and just my whole journey in the NFL. It's like if I get cut by somewhere, I mean, if I'm meant to get picked up, God will get me picked up by who I need to get picked up, put me in the place I need to be. Because I could have got drafted by some other team earlier, and then like maybe got cut early and didn't have had a short career.
Right.
So I think I ended up where I was supposed to be, the round I was supposed to be, and and we're going in the year 13, so it's something he did something right. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah, man. It's take what you get. I think that. Again, people of faith, we ride this line where everything leans super heavy on, oh man, watch. Let me give you an example. I played the lotto one time, bro.
You're like, I'm about to win.
Bruh.
The Lord gave me these numbers in my sleep.
I played the lotto one time, and when I tell you, I was like, I was going to win. I was going to win. I was literally, it was like $500 million. I was like, okay, all right, so what I'm going to do, all right, let me just calm down. How am I going to disguise myself when I go and get, give him my ticket and stuff? I just knew I was going to win. And when I didn't win, I was disappointed. And that's crazy because that's honestly a lot of us church boys, church babies, church kids, that's how we're raised. We're trained that, you don't have to, Lord, I know he ain't studied for the tests. But you gonna give him every answer in the name of Jesus. He gonna get a perfect score on his SAT, God. And he go, it's like, bruh, no, I'm not actually.
And I think that kind of comes into where it's like, faith without works is dead. Like, okay, I got all this faith that I'm like you said, the test. I got all this faith. I can pass this test. And it's like, You ain't did no work to study for the test or nothing. What you think? You just like, yeah, I ain't got to do none of that. God is gonna give me. They gonna beam into my mind. I'm just get all the answers right, man. No, you got to put some work in.
Yes, you got
to. It's a little bit. It ain't all him. He can do it, but that ain't what his word say he gonna do. So
man,
you ain't gonna bend his arm to get him to do something like that.
You're exactly right. In fact, I'm gonna show you something. This is I actually went and got this specifically for this conversation, and it's this right here, right? So my son built this Ninjago. Yeah,
I know. I'm a Lego dude. I know all about. I was all up in the Legos.
Exactly. That's what I know, and so that's why I brought it out for you in this conversation, and it is perfect right here because what you're talking about is building the life that God has for you. When I say building it, meaning go get a box of a Ninjago Lego set. Open up put all the pieces on the floor, and then pray. And watch.
You're gonna wake up the next day. He's gonna build himself. Transformers.
Right. It's not gonna build itself, bro. Like I remember this one time you posted a picture. You were in I think you were in Arizona. Yep, you were in Arizona. And I think it was like a photo shoot or something like that. You were on this mountain or whatever. And that was the first time I ever saw you with your shirt off. Cause you got your gear on and stuff like that or whatever. I was like, dude, got a 6-pack, bro. That's crazy. I mean, I kind of, you just figure it, but it's different, when you see it, but that doesn't just happen. I don't have one. You know why? Cause I haven't built it. I haven't. Yeah. Come on, man. Don't laugh too hard. Yeah. Come on, bro. You're right.
I think like the thing with when it comes to exercise, it's like, it's hard. It's easy to just be like, okay, I'm gonna work hard for a month or a couple of weeks, and like, man, I'm gonna try and get it all done here. But like it's kind of like with faith. It's like, or just being a Christian. It's not I'm gonna go hard at it for a month, and I'm gonna see all the results for the rest of my life. It's like I got to make it a lifestyle to where it continues. Like if I don't do something where it's like I can sustain it over my life, it's going to just fall off. Like being a Christian is you work at it for the rest. You're going to work at it for the rest of your life to do what you got to do. And if you just do, it's like I'm gonna be a good Christian. I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna do all the extra Bible study, and you just do it for a month, and you're like, okay, this is gonna last me for the rest of my life. It ain't gonna work.
That's not how this works, man. In fact, there's a scripture. Jesus was like, if you continue in my word, then you're my disciples for sure. So it's not just about doing one thing. It's continuing. It's the continual process. It's like literally people who make a decision to have great nutritional content as far as like, this is how I'm going to eat. And it's not like, all right, I'm gonna do this for a week and I'm good. Nah, people like my wife do. She's on the verge of veganism. Oh my God, we got to pray. Because that is not the will of the Lord for you, boy. Yeah. Amen. But but it's like literally over and over and over. She has to continually make those decisions. It's like living a monogamous life. You got to make that decision over and over. It doesn't matter. You can't tire. You can't tire of those decisions. You can't when you're working out. It does hurt in that moment, but you're working something that's going to be that's going to give you lasting results and make you look better and more healthy later on. So man, I appreciate you for saying that for sure. It's funny because you and I have a similar storyline that we've never talked about, right? Yeah. And that is both of us at one point in our lives were basically praying for our fathers who have been incredibly restored and they're incredible men, but they fell away at one point, right? Do you, like, for those who are watching and they're believing God for something like that big, what was it like for you in that space where you're praying and you're not seeing the results, but now here you are on the other side, amazing relationship with your father, man? Uncle Chris and Aunt Brenda, they're my favorites, man. Sorry, Uncle Carlos, everybody. They're my favorites.
They're pretty awesome.
They're awesome. But it wasn't like that all the time. And you were in the middle watching and waiting and praying. So what was that like for you? And how did you find the strength of God while you were waiting?
It's kind of crazy because like when all that was kind of happening, I was so young. I didn't really, understand, I guess I would say, what was really going on. But as I got older, it kind of worked out because my dad was, I'd say he still to this day is like my number one fan. So he was always at all my like college home games that he can come to, anyone close by. Still all of my like NFL games, he texts me before every game, and like we pretty much talk every day. So it's been really cool to like this. My job helped. And my job and what I've been doing since I've been growing up kind of helped us, our bond, where we can talk. Like it became a point. It became where it's just like, hey, I'm gonna just call him, or he calls me to talk about it. But now it's just natural. It's like, okay, I'm gonna call him to see how he's doing. Hey, Dad, what you up to? How's your day been and stuff like that. And you don't, without football, who knows how that relationship could have been. So obviously I'm thankful for that part of it. Right. And that's one of those like, side benefits that you don't even think about, that, God's like, oh, I know you need this for this. And so it's been awesome.
Yeah, man. I feel the same way because music was like that for me. When my dad was, my parents divorced when I think I was like 8 or 9. Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was, and there's a scripture that says, and great was the fall of it. I mean, pastoring, and I mean, they literally were on television in Spartanburg for literally 7 days a week. Like, kids at school all knew me because, I saw your dad on TV, and I was kind of embarrassed. I'm in elementary school, so it wasn't cool to me then. You know what I mean? So then after all of that, and the divorce, the church split, and all this other kind of stuff, and like we didn't have the regular life that a lot of people like they have, as far as the relationship with your father, because we were living in Columbia, Dad was in Charlotte, and it was just, we saw each other periodically, maybe every other weekend or something like that. But music was the thing that brought us together. Music to us was football for you guys. And that was like this thing. I mean, still to this day, bro, there are certain albums that I listen to and I remember the drives from between Columbia and Charlotte with Dad, you know what I mean? And it's like the fact that we were able to hold on and to believe in, like the Bible says, hope against hope, during those seasons when it was really tough, makes it even sweeter now. Like with you guys, man. Like, I mean, what people don't know is your dad played football before you did. He was in that movie.
He was pretend. He always says that though. It's funny. He's like, well, he talks about this with me and Gabriel too. He's like, with Gabriel, he's like, I was going to go to college before we had my older brother. He's like, I was going to college for music. Gabriel ended up going to college for music. He's like, I played in a movie as a football player, and then you went and played football.
Dude, bruh, I remember when that movie came out, man. It was The Program, and I'm like,
I showed it to some of my coaches this year. I was like, he brought up a clip. I was like, my dad and mom is in that movie. If you go, they pull up the clip of them dancing. Just,
I remember one time they was in the locker room. He was sitting on top of the. I think he was sitting on top of the water thing or something like that. I was like, that's Uncle Chris. That's Uncle Chris.
Jerry Curl's there. Jerry Curl juicing off, flowing good.
He had that good.
Yeah, he had that good curl.
He had that S curl, doc, that blue and white bottle. You don't know nothing about that? Good God Almighty.
No, I don't know about that.
Nothing about that. But yeah, man. So it's wonderful to see your relationship with Uncle Chris. I mean, even like in the music side of things, where you guys are worshiping together, and people. I remember I was at PAO one time, years and years ago. And I was asking some of the athletes, like, man, because I'm looking around at all these NFL players and their spouses and their kids, and they're going after God, bro. They are serious about that thing. And I asked one of the dudes, I was like, bro, let me ask you a question. Like, why is it so significant? Why, like, what is it about NFL players and their relationship with God? And this dude looked me in my face and said, bro, understand, we are one hit away from all this going away. We're one hit away. We recognize the fact that we need God's protection. We understand how, he said our contracts aren't guaranteed. We can get a concussion and that can, or an injury, and that could be it. So we're out here and it's looking one way, but we understand, we know where the foundation is. Do you find that to be true in your life as far as the knowledge or the awareness of how dangerous this really could be and that God is sustaining you through it?
Yeah. No, it's like you said, the NFL stands for not for long, usually in most cases. And like you said, you're literally one play can take you out. And that's why when I talk to the young kids too, high school, college, it's like, man, make sure you get your degree, because you can think like you have all these aspirations of like, okay, I'm going to the league, I'm gonna have a 10-year career. Like, you don't know what can happen to you in that time that can like derail that whole thing. And you don't want all your identity and all your hopes to be just in this one thing. Because obviously, you pray for protection, you pray for a longevity and all that stuff, but still, like, that doesn't, just because you're saved and you're praying doesn't mean like you're just not going to have any hard times. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had 2 injuries and I've been blessed enough to where like they didn't stop me from playing. I tore my labrum and I broke my foot. So it's like you're going to get hurt at some point. It just depends on what happens and like how fast you come back. Because I had a second grade MCL sprain. I missed 3 weeks at the beginning of the season during training camp this year. So it's like you never know. Somebody land on you the wrong way, fall the wrong way, non-contact. Just there's so many things that could happen. That it's one of those things where if you don't have faith and believe that somebody can take care of you, like if all this goes away, that you're still gonna be taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Like that's where that comfort comes in. It's like, okay, regardless, okay, I know what I want to do, but if this doesn't work out, I know I'm gonna be taken care of. Right. So, God, Jesus, take the wheel. You got it. You're going to take care of me. You always have. And I'm not going to sit here and, worry about a future that I can't predict and, not enjoy where I'm at right now and where you blessed me to be at.
Man, I love it. I love the fact that you talked about a second ago, talking to the younger kids, high school, middle school players or whatever. You have Beating All Odds, the Beating All Odds Foundation. Like, that's really huge, the give back part. There are a lot of people who don't do that, who don't, they just accumulate everything they accumulate. Why was it so important to you to start this foundation? I think just being a Christian as I am, giving and giving back. I've always been tithing and just giving has always been super easy for me. And so giving back, it was definitely like right away something I wanted to do. The foundation name came from pretty much how I felt, what it took for me to get to where I'm at. I wasn't the best player in high school. Went to a super small school. We had 1,300 kids. We weren't good. I think I won like 8 games in 4 years. We weren't we weren't good at all. But through all that, I still was able to get drafted. I've had a long career. So it was like, and before I even had the long career, it was like I felt like I beat a lot of odds to get to where I'm at now. So that's kind of where the name came from. Mm-hmm. And no, like I just always enjoy giving back, and I felt like with where God put me, He obviously put me here for a reason. There's a lot of people that could, learn from things I have to say, even though sometimes I don't feel that way, and I'm not like the most want to go out there and talk to everybody kind of person. Right. But no, I think He put me in the position I'm in for a reason. And so I'm trying to use it to the best of my abilities and help as many people as I can. Yeah, that's this conversation. This is why I love having this podcast, man, because there's a lot of people that know you from their favorite team. They're rocking your jersey, and I remember I got his jersey from every team that he was at. I've been a long time. I only got one. I got the one Uncle Chris gave me from the Cardinals.
Yeah, that you good.
You know what I'm saying? It's your boy.
Only got one. That's all that matters.
I got one. They messed it up at the cleaners, man. I went off on that lady. It's like, look at the name on the back. Oh, I got to talk to you about something anyway. Anyway, look at the name on the back. That's my cousin, kind of. I always got to put the kind of in there. But no, it's like, people, they know you by your stats. They know you because you're their favorite player and things, but they don't know your heart. So to get a chance to hear you talk about your love for God, to hear you talk about, what it felt like, the waiting, the realistic expectations, those are the things that I love to dig into in this podcast, because otherwise, you're just an athlete for a lot of people, but it's wonderful to hear your heart, bro. Like, legit. Okay. So let's talk about the jersey and how the lady messed my jersey up. You said something, I can't remember how long ago this post was, but or if it was a conversation, but I remember you saying something along the lines of you playing for the name on the front and the back of the jersey. So while you're representing whatever organization you're with, you're also representing the name, your family name, right? Is there any pressure on you to be this guy because you went to the league and people know you everywhere?
I wouldn't say not pressure, not really. I know like I have a family. I know I have family that looks up to me, that is watching how I react to stuff, how I do things off the field. And like that's kind of the name on the back of your jersey. It's like you represent your family. I represent my dad, my mom, my brothers, and all them. And so like I'm not gonna go out there or just be out doing crazy stuff and making it seem. For me, it's like you don't want to make it seem like your parents didn't raise you right.
Right.
It's I think it's a great compliment to them when you go out and do things and people are like, man, you're such a good dude, you're really humble, all this stuff. Is like that came from, for me, that came from, my parents and how they raised me and how they taught me to treat others, and just growing up in church and all that thing. So I think that's, for me, it's like, I know who I am, I know what I represent, and that's kind of how, for me, like taking care of the name on the back of my jersey. Like, even though I play for the Cardinals, I play for Miami Patriots, anything like that, at the end of the day, the name on the back is the bigger name, and that's the name that I'm, really trying to take care of.
Wow, bro, that's big. Because after you're out of the league, you still got that last name. That was deep. That
don't go nowhere.
That was deep. I had to pause right there parenthetically. That was good. That was really good. Okay, cool, brother. We end every podcast with 3 questions. We ask all my guests the same 3 questions, and I'm going to ask you. They're not super hard, but we need your answers. All right. So, question number 1: give me the origin story behind one of your childhood nicknames.
One of my childhood nicknames. So I had one of my childhood nicknames was Little Town, and so when I was in middle school, when I was playing football, one of my coaches, he just started calling me Little Town all the time. He's like, Little Town, whatever. I was like, well, why do you keep calling me that? He's like, Little Town of Bethlehem, Little Town of Bethlehem. And so he called me Little Town.
Wait.
That was an interesting one,
bro. Okay, time out, man. Time out. Flag on the play, bro. Hold up. Your last name is Bethel, not Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, Bethel. It was all the same. It sounded good to him.
What's up, Little Town? That's actually the best one so far. That's hilarious, bro. Little Town.
And it could have been. I was the shortest dude on the team too, so that kind of could have been part of it.
Nah. He was like, "Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem." He pronounced that wrong one time, and it stuck.
Bethlehem. Yeah.
He said Bethlehem, because that's probably how. Because we don't be knowing how to spell stuff. Somebody probably in the family said Bethlehem. He's like, "Oh, Bethlehem."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every time I say my last name, sometimes I feel like I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm like Bethel.
Or if you get deep, Bethel. Oh my God.
Yeah, there are some Bethels in there. They throw that A in there, even though it's an E. Somebody be spelling it wrong.
Exactly. Oh, don't it, man. Khristian with a K all the time, bro. It's like Khristian, brother. It's just all right. Just whatever, man. It's all good. So, question number 2. If you had one redo in your life, what is one decision that you made in your life that you would redo?
There was, I feel like there was one time when I was playing in Arizona. I got into it with one of my defensive coordinators, and I feel like that kind of, we had a little rift going on after that, and like things kind of went downhill near the end of the year because like I think we just didn't have a good relationship, and I wish I wouldn't have let my anger in that moment kind of win, and I would have handled it better. Like okay, cool, it is what it is. But I that's a situation. And I've told other guys about this. That's one of those situations that I wish I would have handled better.
Do you ever, have you guys talked since then, or you made
no? Well, so it was my last year there. He ended up going somewhere else, and we haven't like played it. Like I haven't been anywhere he's coached, so no, we haven't even gotten a chance to talk about it.
Got it, man. I have a couple of moments like that in my life, bro, where I just literally acted out of character, my normal character, because I was upset or and honestly, sometimes I was right about it. Whatever it was that we were talking about, I was right, but how I handled it was wrong. And man, and one of the most beautiful things that I've experienced is getting a chance to go back and talk to this person or those people and making it right. Like this one time, man, this lady who God used me to speak to her and basically prophesy her husband. Like she thought she was way past the age of marriage and all this other kind of stuff. And God used me to basically tell her that her husband was on his way. And when she got engaged and everything, she invited me to the wedding. And at the time I was going through a divorce. And so I just was like, just out of it, just altogether. My whole world was upside down, really. And I didn't even really think much about it. Not only did I not RSVP, I didn't say anything. I didn't even say I'm not coming or whatever. I just went ghost. And so years later, we got a chance to have a conversation. I was able to look at her in the face and said, listen, I was not a brother to you in that moment. I allowed what I was going through or whatever I was feeling at the time to put me in a position where what you were dealing with or what you were celebrating didn't really matter, and that was wrong on me. And dude, it was a whole teary crying stuff like that. It was beautiful, man. So to people who are watching, just take it from us. There are moments where you're going to get beside yourself, so to speak, or you're gonna encounter moments where you're gonna not see eye to eye with somebody. You might take it too far or whatever, but man, just know that as long as you live and breathe, there could be an opportunity that for you to make it right. That's cool. Third question, final question: in what way in your life would you like to look more like Christ before the end of the year?
Before the end of the year, look more like Christ. I'd say kind of back to what I was talking about, like talking to kids and stuff through Foundation, just doing more events where I'm out in the community, stuff like that, and where I'm out in the community doing things, but I also get a chance to speak about my faith while I'm doing it, like as a segue. So that's something I had on my mind this year, to be more in the community and, be able to speak more to kids or youth or whoever I'm helping out and letting them know all this is possible because of the Lord. It's not me. It's all Him. He loves you. He cares about you. And He sent me here. I'm here because He wants to show that to you. Dude,
I love it. I love it, bro. This was absolutely incredible. This is literally the longest conversation we ever had. I remember, man, staying at the townhouse when I came to Arizona. The first game I saw you play. Oh my gosh, bro! I was living large, and that was that's when your mom whooped my tail in the go-kart racing.
Oh yeah,
I was talking all that mess. She's a beast. Yeah.
She got the need for speed, 100%.
100%. Brother, thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been my kind of cousin, JB, the plug.
No, I appreciate you.
Justin Bethel, man, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast, man. I hope you have an amazing day, Doc.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right. right, good people, listen up now. If you enjoyed that episode, trust me, there's a lot more where that came from. So make sure you subscribe to Tombslayer YouTube page, because you don't want to miss one of these conversations. You don't want to miss this sweet, sweet hat game either now.